Hello, everyone. How's it going? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you don't know me, hi, my name is Chaida. I'm a Black conservative commentator and writer. And this is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. I'm so happy that you decided to join me. And today we're going to be talking about Mayor Karen Bass over at the city of Los Angeles. All right, but before we get started, sharing, I'm going to be starting a series. And then in this series, we take a real look at the Black leaders who have shaped our politics for better or for worse. In this series, we are breaking down the policies, the promises, the patterns. No spin, no guilt, no fear. Just facts, history, receipt, and real talk from a Black conservative woman who has lived the results, not just the rhetoric. Why am I doing this? Because I love America. And more importantly, I love my community. Real love means tough love. Real love for your community means asking the hard questions. Real progress requires accountability, and real independence starts when we stop letting political parties think they own our minds and our vote. This series is called Chaida versus Black Politics. All right, but before we get started, I want to share a scripture that I found in Mark, verse 10, and it says here in verse 43 to 45, it says here, "Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Love that scripture. I think oftentimes when we look at political leaders, we can forget that they, at the very end of the day, are our civil servants. And if you're somebody who wants to lead, you have to indeed willing to be able to serve, and oftentimes we look at leaders, political leaders, and they have this connotation that they're here to be served. I hope that makes sense and that really resonate with you, because we should be holding our leaders accountable, especially when they fall short of the promises that they made to us. So looking over at Karen Bass' leadership, as you know, she is the mayor for the city of Los Angeles. And before she was mayor, she did serve as Congresswoman in DC. I actually met her one time, and if I can find the photo, I will share it. But I can't find the photo anywhere. But I've actually met her, and she seems to be such a lovely lady. She's very charismatic, and she definitely cares about the issues and the policies that she speaks on, that she focuses on. I don't have anything bad to say about her when it comes to her leadership or about her personalities. It's all good things over here. Before she was in Congress, she served in the California State Assembly, where she was the first Black woman to be Speaker for the House of Delegates there, which I think is pretty impressive. So for a woman who has a decades long standing in public service, why is she not doing so well when it comes to the approval ratings over at Los Angeles? Well, let's start with the Palisades fire. And I apologize if I didn't pronounce that correctly. One of the most destructive wildfires Los Angeles has seen in years. When the flames broke out, Karen Bass wasn't in LA. She wasn't meeting with emergency crews. She wasn't reassuring the public. She wasn't coordinating a response. No, she was abroad on a trip overseas, despite repeated warnings that Los Angeles was encountering dangerous fire and conditions. And while entire communities were evacuating, city resources stretched thin, and homes were turning to ash. The mayor was missing in action. Where was she? Leadership means showing up. Karen Bass didn't. And I think when the massive fires broke out in Palisades, that really tanked Karen Bass' leadership in the city of Los Angeles. I think a lot of people started giving her a side eye a little bit when it came to what came to her priorities, because she was over, I believe, in Ghana at the time. And so what she was doing there, we don't know, we don't care. It is that she wasn't here when these emergencies were taking place. And here's the part that exposes her even more. Before the fires, Bass cut funding to the fire department, weakening the city's capacity to respond. Firefighters were working without adequate support. Critical response teams were understaffed. Equipment needs were unmet. Then, when the public demanded accountability, Bass fired the fire chief, turning him into the scapegoat for her own disastrous decisions. When leaders fail, they usually blame someone else. Karen Bass followed the script perfectly. Karen Bass campaigned as the homelessness mayor. She promised to get people off the streets. She promised real solutions. She promised compassion and results. Notice how they always promise results and they always live by the rhetoric. Inside Safe was supposed to be a major step and planned to bring people indoors and restore public spaces. But here what actually happened. Encampments cleared under Inside Safe returned within weeks. Temporary motels filled up without pathways to permanent housing. Long-term development barely moved. Affordable housing proposals stalled or were blocked. Millions spent and Kempton still rising. Karen Bass delivers visibility, not victory. Her homelessness plan made headlines, but it did not make progress. In Los Angeles today, solutions look like a lot like press releases. Then went to the scandals, hush money allegations, questionable contracts, and accusations of political favoritism. Instead of restoring faith in leadership, Karen Bass has filled even more suspicion that LA politics are built on backroom deals and personal favors. The public sees it, they feel it, and they are tired of it. Her approval ratings tells the real story. She's underwater, meaning more residents disapprove of her leadership than approve. People in Los Angeles are watching their city rumble, and they are connecting the dots back to the mayor's office. When leadership fails, confidence fails. And right now, confidence in Karen Bass is collapsing. LA residents are pushing a recall effort. That alone tells you how bad things have become. Karen Bass came into office promising change, but today LA is more divided, more vulnerable, and more unstable than when she arrived. The city deserves better. Its people deserve better. And America deserves leaders who don't run from responsibility but rise to it. And if you're tired of political theater like me and are ready for real truth, then hit the subscribe button. What are you doing? And if anything in this video sentiment with you, then make sure you give me a like and join in on the conversation. So when it comes to Karen Bass, I think when she was in Congress, she had a very good history when it came to her leadership there. She opened the Black Congressional Caucus that that she founded, and then she went on to pass on great legislations. She was willing to work with both Republicans and Democrats to pass good legislation that influence America across the boards. So I wonder what went wrong when it came to her leadership in Los Angeles. I guess she's beginning to understand that LA politics is much different than DC politics. So, with that being said, I don't think that Karen Bass is going to be looking forward to a second term as mayor. I don't think that that's in the cards for her, considering that her approval rating is in the gutter when it comes to the various LA messes that she has cultivated and has created for herself and for the city. So, with that being said, I would like to know if you're from LA or from California, what are your thoughts on Karen's Bass leadership and what could be done differently? Until then, this is Her America. I'll see you guys next time. Love you all. Bye. Back again. Wow, you're amazing. Please be sure to give today's episode a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you are new here, subscribe so you can stay tuned for more episodes. Want to get to know me a little bit more? You should follow me on social media. I provide the links to all my social media platforms in the description of each podcast episode. Did today really resonated with you? Then you'll even love my deeper dives on my Substack. So please be sure to check it out when you can. Always remember, stay rooted in truth, stand firm in grace. And always remember, this is her time, this is her America. Yours truly, have a great one. And I'll see you next time.